Welcome to episode 3 of my Pokemon Radical Red Randomized Nuzlocke. Last episode was really chaotic and really sad. So hopefully this episode things will be a lot better. Spoiler warning, it won't be. Ever since the Bugsy incident last episode, this is my new team now. I have to grind up Magnezone and Prinplup for a while, but as I told you last episode, it's not that hard when you unlock Lavender Town. After some grinding, I finally have the confidence to take on Erica. And I played this game before without Nuzlocking it, and I know from experience, Erica is a beast. Her Rillaboom was easy enough with a few fire punches from Slacking, but the rest of her team scared me a whole lot more. She had a Hisuian Electrode, which knows Chloroblast, an extremely high damaging move, and she had a Life Orb held onto it, which dealt a lot more damage with the cost of its health. And this Slacking survived on 1 HP with all of that. Slacking, you true king. Thank you for living on 1 HP just to take down the Electrode. But you're I still can't get over the fact that Slacking died even while recording this voiceover. Rest in peace, Slacking. Metagross will take over for you. Meganium is Fairy type in this game, which means my Metagross's Iron Heads will do super effective damage. But look what happens here. My Metagross landed a critical hit and O-code the Meganium. Metagross, you legend, thank you very much. But this demon, this snake demon, actually didn't pose much of a threat. It has Contrary and Leaf Storm, which if you put those two together, it can sharply raise its attack stat by 2 stages every time it uses it. But instead it uses Hidden Power, and I get an opportunity to not take as much damage, and also kill it in 2 Photon Geysers. The AI was just dumb. Oh my god. But then her Venusaur came, and it Mega Evolved, and it killed Metagross with an Earth Power. My starter died on the 4th gym. I was so sad at the time, and still right now. Oh my god, I gotta get out of my system. And then sent out Scizor. And I thought it would deal more damage with its Iron Hands and its good attack stat, but nope. It almost died to 2 Earth Powers, and I thought, no. I'm not losing this one today. But then, anyone I switch into is not good against this Pokemon. It has Earth Power, it has Giga Drain, and then I just had to sacrifice someone, and that someone was Magnezone to an Earth Power. Eventually, Terrakion came in, and boy, thank God it outspeeded Venusaur, so it could land off a Psychic Fang and kill it once and for all. That was intense. After the fight, I needed to build a new team since half of my team died. So I added the Frostmoth that was supposed to be an Eevee, the Raichu back in Pewter City, and an Arctovish, which I found the route east of Celadon City. I forgot the name. Now that the game corner was unlocked, I decided to gamble my money, half of my money, to this old man that wanted a metronome battle. And I'm telling you, this battle was so rigged. First of all, he thought it was a good idea to bring a Mega Medicham into the battle. And since the Medicham was his held item, it couldn't have a Lepa Berry. And All my Pokemon have Leppa berries, but he thought it was funny to bring a Mega Medicham in. Which, he's a cheater, I will tell you. Then his other Pokemon is Snorlax, which is a defensive tank. I couldn't deal much damage to it, but it can deal a lot of damage to me, like slacking. But his held item is Leftovers, which means if I deal minimal damage to it, it can heal that minimal damage right back up. And because of those two cheaters, I ended up losing half of my money. I never learned from my mistakes, so I ended up betting again. And this time, I actually ended up winning. And never gambled again, because I don't want to risk my money again. Also, can we take a minute to acknowledge his name? I got through the Team Rocket Hideaway very easily, but now it's time to take on Giovanni. Oh boy. His team is really scary. At least his Nidoking was a complete coward and switched away to Kangaskhan. But it's Mega Kangaskhan with Parental Bond. Parental Bond allows you to hit twice in one turn, and Power Up Punch raises its attack by one stage. If it uses that with Parental Bond, it can boost its attack twice in one turn. That is incredibly scary. Like, oh my god, I can't tell you how scary that was, because either it was about to take out my entire team, or I had to think of a strategy to deal with it immediately. I decided to switch into Terrakion so I could break it and deal massive damage in hopes of killing it, and its defense stat actually tanked through 2 power punches with its boosted attack, and so it gives me opportunity to break it. It was just shy of KOing it, but I had a strategy for this. But that strategy requires some sacrifice in this situation. And that sacrifice was going to be Raichu. I am so sorry, Raichu. We just had you for like 2 seconds on this team. But then, I decided to switch into Frostmoth, which is a bad Pokemon in general, but it had Baneful Bunker. Baneful Bunker poisons the opposing Pokemon on contact with it. And since the Kangaskhan was barely on like 1 or 2 HP, if it gets poisoned, at the end of that turn, it will get knocked out. That was the most strategic that I've ever been with the Frostmoth ever, and basically the only time I've been strategic with a Frostmoth ever. Frostmoth ended up going down to the Infernape, and I decided to switch into the now involved Empoleon with Dauntless Shield, which raises defense on entry. And it's already a physical tank, and since Infernape is a physical attacker, it could tank a close combat from Infernape, and then with the defense drops could kill Infernape right there. And it did. Oh my god, the stat drops were worth it. Then the Nidoking came, and I decided to switch into Arctivish, which had Rock Tomb, which slows it down. And for some reason, the Nidoking can learn Thunderbolt, for some reason. But I'm deciding I'm going to have to make another sacrifice to slow it down even more. So I sacrificed Arctivish, which went down to an Earth Power by Nidoking. Terrakion took care of the Nidoking, it also took care of the Rotom, and Scizor finished it off by taking on the Hawkscrow. Yet again, there were so many deaths in that battle. This is my new team after the Giovanni battle, and then I had to grind up the whole team yet again. I forgot to look at the movesets of my new team members, but when this Popplio evolved into Brionne, it wanted to learn Astral Barrage. And its original moveset had Glacial Lance and Behemoth Bash. This Brionne has so many signature moves of legendary Pokemon. Like, this Brionne was so crazy, let me tell you. In Pokemon Tower, now that I can identify ghosts, this was my encounter. I just captured a dead Dawn fan. Like, look, am I allowed to use this? It was identified as a ghost before, but it's dead and not a Ghastly. Like, am I allowed to use this? Of course I can. I can just name it Ghastly and just put it as alive or something, you know. Oh, you thought Brion was done. Oh, no, how wrong you were. So when she evolved into Primarina, she wanted to learn Judgment. This Primarina has Ice Rider Calyrex's signature move, Shadow Rider Calyrex's signature move, and Zamazenta's signature move. Now it wants to learn Arceus' signature move. Do you realize what this Primarina is capable of here? After all of that, I decided to take a break right there. If you like this series, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.